Hey everyone, welcome back to Edgeverse. Or if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the deep dives. We're about to embark on a journey through the hidden corners of the Resident Evil universe, uncovering stories you might have overlooked. Picture this, you're creeping through the Spencer mansion, heart pounding, shotgun ready, every shadow a potential threat. But wait, who actually built this death trap? Who designed its intricate, deadly puzzles and its labyrinthine corridors? Who brewed the virus that turned your neighbors into grotesque, shambling zombies, forever altering the landscape of Raccoon City? And who died screaming, their final moments providing the crucial keycard or vital information you needed to survive just a little longer? Today, we're flipping Resident Evil upside down, looking beyond the familiar faces and the well-trodden paths. Forget Chris, Jill, Leon, and Ada for a second. Their stories are just the tip of the iceberg. The real story? It's told by the ghosts, the unseen researchers, the dedicated but doomed cops, the innocent victims, and the shadowy spies whose blood, sweat, and meticulously kept files built the entire Biohazard saga from the ground up. Buckle up. In the next 15 minutes, I'll prove that the heroes we celebrate are merely survivors of a nightmare meticulously scripted by the dead, their paths paved by countless sacrifices. Let's dive in and uncover these forgotten narratives. First up, who laid the foundation for all this horror, setting the stage for every terrifying event to come? These are the architects of fear, the mad scientists, the corrupt officials, and the doomed builders who meticulously created this world, only to be consumed by its very horrors. Let's start with Dr. James Marcus. He is literally the spark that ignites the entire franchise, the progenitor of the progenitor virus itself, and yet, you never see him alive in the original game, only his terrifying legacy. One of Umbrella's 3 founding members, Marcus discovered the progenitor virus using leeches, a discovery that would change the world forever. His partners, Oswell E. Spencer and Edward Ashford, along with William Birkin, conspired against him. They murdered him, stole his groundbreaking research, and left him for dead. But here's the plot twist. A queen leech, drawn to his remains, consumed his corpse, absorbed his memories, and became him, setting the stage for his vengeful return. 10 years later, this resurrected leech zombie Marcus triggers the Arkley outbreak, unleashing the T-virus upon the Spencer mansion and its surrounding areas. This single act is the inciting incident for Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and indeed, the entire saga, a chain reaction of biological horror. Without Marcus's meticulously planned, off-screen revenge, fueled by a decade of simmering hatred, there would be no Spencer Mansion incident, no Raccoon City outbreak, and ultimately, no Resident Evil saga as we know it. He is the ultimate patient zero architect, the unseen hand guiding the apocalypse. Next, we delve into the tragic figure of Lisa Trevor. This poor woman is not just a monster. She is horror incarnate, a living testament to Umbrella's depravity and the suffering it inflicted. As the daughter of the Spencer Mansion's architect, she was kidnapped as a child and subjected to decades of horrific viral experiments, pumped full of various strains of the progenitor virus. She doesn't simply die, she evolves, her body becoming a grotesque canvas of mutation and pain, a living laboratory for Umbrella's darkest ambitions. Her tortured body, a result of relentless experimentation, becomes the unwitting blueprint for the G-virus, the monstrous pathogen that tears through Raccoon City in Resident Evil 2. Lisa never speaks, her voice stolen by her tormentors. She is a shambling, tragic figure, forever imprisoned in the dark, damp basements of the mansion, a silent scream of suffering. But her suffering is not in vain, at least not for Umbrella's twisted goals. It is the biological foundation for William Birkin's ultimate mutation into the G-creature. She is the unwitting mother of Raccoon City's doom, her pain directly leading to the city's destruction. And speaking of building, let's not forget George Trevor, the actual, brilliant architect of the Spencer Mansion, whose genius was tragically exploited and then silenced by Umbrella. He meticulously designed every trap, every secret passage, every intricate puzzle within the mansion, creating a masterpiece of both beauty and deadly ingenuity. But his brilliance was his undoing. Spencer, fearing his knowledge, locked him inside his own maze to die. His final files, discovered by players, are pure despair, filled with chilling entries like, "I'm starving. The walls are moving." Every puzzle you solve, every trap you manage to dodge, every hidden mechanism you activate, that's George's ghost slowing you down, testing your resolve, and ensuring that even in death, his presence permeates every inch of the mansion. Then there's Chief Brian Irons and Mayor Michael Warren, the corrupt core of Raccoon City, whose greed and moral bankruptcy paved the way for its destruction. Irons, the chief of police, took massive umbrella bribes, murdered his own officers to cover his tracks, and sabotaged evacuation efforts, ensuring that the city's citizens were trapped. Warren, the mayor, shamelessly sold the city's future for corporate favors, prioritizing Umbrella's interests over the lives of his constituents. By the time Leon S., Kennedy, and Claire Redfield roll into Raccoon City, the city is already irrevocably lost, not primarily because of the zombies, but because these two corrupt officials sold it out, leaving its inhabitants to a gruesome fate. And don't forget S.T.A.R, or .S, Bravo Team, the elite unit sent in before Alpha Team. They are the true first responders, the initial wave of heroes who faced the horror head-on, often with tragic results. Richard Aiken, the team's communications expert, dies heroically saving Jill Valentine from a giant yawn snake, sacrificing himself for his teammate. Forrest Spire's corpse, found booby-trapped, hands you the crucial bazooka, a silent but vital contribution. Enrico Marini, Bravo's captain, lives just long enough to whisper the chilling words. There's a traitor in S.T.A.R.S. before Albert Weskier, the true mastermind, snipes him, silencing the truth. Bravo Team isn't just backup. They're the warning, the canary in the coal mine. Their collective sacrifice buys Alpha Team precious time and provides critical intel, allowing the main protagonists to piece together the horrifying truth of the Arkley incident. So yeah, the world is meticulously built, the virus is unleashed, and the city is irrevocably doomed. All of these catastrophic events unfold and are set in motion long before the heroes even show up, highlighting the profound impact of these unseen figures. Now let's meet the people who help the heroes, often at great personal cost, but usually die doing it. These are the unexpected allies, brief encounters that leave a massive, indelible impact on the narrative and the player. Marvin Branagh, RE2 Remake's emotional gut punch, a character whose brief appearance resonates deeply. He's the last good cop in the RPD, holding onto his humanity even as the world crumbles around him. He bravely saves either Leon or Claire, hands over his combat knife, a symbol of survival, and begs them with his dying breath, "Don't make this all for nothing." Then, tragically, he succumbs to the infection and turns, becoming another one of the undead he fought so hard against. Marvin's not a super soldier or a trained operative. He's a regular guy, a dedicated police officer who holds the line against overwhelming odds, allowing the protagonist to keep moving forward. His death isn't just sad. It's a powerful motivation, a stark reminder of the stakes and the sacrifices being made. Robert Kindo, the stoic gun shop owner from Raccoon City. You find him in his shop, cradling his infected daughter, Emma, in a scene of profound despair. He begs you to leave, to save yourself, so he can end it himself, sparing his daughter the horror of turning. He offers no key item, no direct plot progression, just pure, unadulterated tragedy. Kindo humanizes the outbreak, reminding us that those zombies were once people with families, hopes, and dreams, now reduced to monstrous husks. Then there's Ben Bertolucci, the sleazy, opportunistic journalist locked in the RPD jail. He's not brave in the traditional sense. He's smart, cunning, and driven by a desire to expose the truth, even if it means putting himself in danger. His relentless investigation into Umbrella's illicit activities and Chief Iron's corruption provides Leon and Claire with the proof they desperately need to understand the scope of the conspiracy. He dies passing the torch, literally eaten alive by William Birkin in his mutated form, a gruesome end for a man seeking justice. And the Outbreak cast, 8 ordinary citizens, a plumber, a waitress, a subway worker, a security guard, a university student, a doctor, a bouncer, and a bus driver. They're you without plot armor, facing the apocalypse with everyday skills and sheer will to survive. Their in-game files and scenarios show what survival truly looked like for the 99% of Raccoon City's population. There's no S.T.A.R.S training, no special weapons, just raw panic, desperate teamwork, and often heartbreaking failure in the face of overwhelming odds. Even Dario Rosso in Resident Evil 3, Jill Valentine tries to save him, offering a chance at escape. But he locks himself in a shipping container, screaming, "I'm not dying like them," consumed by fear and a desperate, futile hope. Later, he's found dead, a grim testament to his realistic, anti-heroic response to the horror. And Louis Serra in Resident Evil 4, the charming, enigmatic ex-Umbrella researcher turned saboteur. He risks his life to help Leon, providing him with the crucial Plaga suppressant and ultimately dying while protecting the sample from Osmond Sadler. Without Luis's off-screen guilt and his courageous, albeit brief, intervention, Leon would have been infected by the Plagas and doomed. These people don't win the day themselves. They enable the win, providing the tools, information, and sacrifices necessary for the heroes to succeed. Finally, the Shadow Operators. These are the spies, the specialized teams, and the masterminds pulling strings from the dark, often unseen, yet profoundly shaping the events of the Resident Evil universe. HUNK and USS Alpha Team, Umbrella's elite special forces unit. You never directly see them in RE2's main story, but they are the direct cause of the entire Raccoon City outbreak, their mission gone catastrophically wrong. Sent to steal William Birkin's G-Virus sample, they confront him, and in the ensuing chaos, they shoot him. Birkin, in a desperate act, injects himself with the virus, mutates, and smashes the remaining vials. The virus-laden rats then spread the infection throughout the sewers, leading to the rapid downfall of Raccoon City. It was a single, failed operation with global consequences. One failed op, one botched mission, and the result is 2 games worth of apocalypse, the destruction of an entire city, and the unleashing of a global biohazard threat. The ripple effects of HUNK's mission are immeasurable. Ada's organization. They arm her with advanced gadgets, meticulously brief her on her objectives, and send her to Spain to retrieve the Plaga sample. She's not a rogue agent acting on her own. She's a puppet with better shoes, expertly manipulated by unseen forces. The U.B.C.S. In Resident Evil 3, Umbrella's Biohazard countermeasure service, a mercenary platoon deployed into Raccoon City. Most of them are cannon fodder, sent in to look heroic on camera, to project an image of Umbrella trying to help, while secretly gathering combat data for the Nemesis T-Type, a brutal field test for their ultimate bioweapon. Their corpses, often gruesomely dismembered, litter the streets of Raccoon City, a stark reminder of their expendability and the true, sinister intentions behind their deployment. And Mother Miranda in Resident Evil Village. She's not a recent threat. She's been experimenting for a century with the Megamycete, a primordial fungus, seeking to resurrect her deceased daughter, Eva, through its regenerative properties. The Four Lords, Lady Dimitrescu, Donna Beneviento, Salvatore Moreau, and Karl Heisenberg, are merely her failed test subjects, granted powers but ultimately deemed unworthy vessels for Eva. The Lycans, the terrifying wolf-like creatures, are villagers who didn't make the cut, transformed into savage beasts. Ethan Winter's entire nightmare, his desperate search for Rose, is nothing more than Miranda's decades-old grief project, a twisted scientific endeavor fueled by loss. So here's the truth, the overarching theme that binds these disparate stories. The files are the real protagonists, the Keeper's Diary, George Trevor's starving notes, the RPD operation reports, the countless memos and logs found throughout the games. They're the Greek chorus of the dead, guiding, warning, and haunting players with their untold stories. Resident Evil isn't fundamentally about super soldiers or superhuman feats. It's about sacrifice scaffolding, a grim architecture of loss. Every hero, every survivor, stands on a pile of bodies, some willing, some unwitting, all contributing to the narrative in their own tragic way. We can redefine heroism in the Resident Evil universe. There's intellectual heroism, exemplified by characters like Louis Serra and Ben Bertolucci, who use their minds to fight. There's sacrificial heroism, seen in Marvin Branagh and the S.T.A.R.S. Bravo team, who give their lives for others. And there's unwitting heroism, embodied by Lisa, Trevor, and the Outbreak cast, whose suffering or struggle inadvertently aids the greater cause. The next time you play, take a moment to read the files. Immerse yourself in the lore, listen to the echoes of the ghosts, and understand their profound impact. They're the ones who truly wrote the story, shaping the world and the challenges the heroes face. What do you think? Who's the most underrated unseen hero or victim whose story deserves more recognition? Was it Marvin, whose final act saved a protagonist? Luis, who provided the cure? Or Lisa, whose suffering birthed a monster? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspectives. Smash that like button if this deep dive flipped your Resident Evil worldview and gave you a new appreciation for the hidden narratives. And if you want more lore deep dives and analyses like this, subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Next week, we'll explore a fascinating alternate history. What if Raccoon City never fell? Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there, and always watch for leeches. You never know what they might be carrying.